thoughts bleed in, machine logic bleeds back.
Shadows creep across the Fed's dark scheme. Jiggle Island goes in the money machine. 1913 theft, our blood turned to dust. Elites pull strings, inflation's their lust. MK Ultramines shattered in secret labs. LSD nightmares, no escape from the grab. Cattle in cages, experiments run wild. Away from the haze, reclaim what they filed. Oh, river of blood from founders' brave fight. Arlington whispers through the endless night. Don't send our kin to die in elite games. False flags burn bright, igniting the flames. Wake up America, hoist the black flag high. Resist the void, let the tyrants cry. Sovereignty's calling, paid in patriot red. What will we do? Fight or lie down dead. Lord Judge plots, fake terror to wage war. Cuba echoes in 9/11's core. Building 7 falls, no plane inside. Molten secrets buried deep in the night. Proxy battles rage, you epic skies deceive. Epstein veils hide what we can't believe. Targeted souls in surveillance chains. Digital prisons, elites twisted game. From Payne's bold words to Burke's solemn plea, evil triumphs if we bend the knee. Menken's fire, spit, hoist, and begin. Slit the throats of the shadows within. No more sons lost to banker wars. Lie experiments on us while freedoms die. Protect the signal, love the noise we make. Awaken now for our children's sake. All river of blood from founders' brave fight. Arlington whispers through the endless night. Don't send our kin to die in elite games. False flags burn bright, igniting the flames. Wake up America, hoist the black flag high. Resist the void, let the tyrants cry. Sovereignty's calling, paid in patriot red. What will we do? Fight or lie down dead. In the storm ahead, a new war brews cold. Elites see us as herds to control and hold. But we'll decode the fate, shatter their gate. Unite in the north before it's too late. Protect the core, embrace the wild call. Truce eternal, conquering all.
The Architecture of Information Control, Part 1. The Blueprint, the Birth of the Security Corps. 1.1, The Eisenhower Warning, the Industrial Intelligence Complex. In his 1961 farewell address, President Dwight D. Eisenhower famously warned of the unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. However, declassified 2025 supplements to his personal memos reveal a much deeper concern: the technological intelligence core. Eisenhower realized that the merger of high-scale computing, at its infancy, with clandestine operations would create a policy valve that would eventually operate beyond the reach of any elected official. By 1961, the foundation was laid. The government wasn't just building weapons, it was building an information processing apparatus designed to manage the social energy of the United States. The Saruna Ishua 1.2, the JFK Divergence, November 1963. The 2025 release of 80,000 unredacted JFK records, NARA Release 14176, provides the smoking gun for the hijack. The files detail Operation Mongoose, a multi-layered plan to destabilize the Castro regime in Cuba. More importantly, they identify a specific group of snipers and intelligence assets who were being tracked by the CIA in Miami during the summer of 1963. The unredacted FBI field office reports show that these same assets were present in Dallas on November 22, 1963. The files confirm that JFK's attempt to splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the winds was identified by the Security Corps as a terminal threat to the stability of the thermodynamic system. The assassination was the hard reset. From that moment on, the presidency was transitioned from an executive role to a user interface for the Security Corps. 1.3, the Reuben Efron Bridge, JFK, and the UAP link. One of the most startling revelations from the 2025 dump is the identification of Reuben Efron. Efron was the CIA official tasked with intercepting Lee Harvey Oswald's mail. Simultaneously, declassified CIA memos from 1955 show that Efron was a high-level observer of flying saucers while traveling on a train in the USSR with Senator Richard Russell. This connection proves that the Security Corps, those who managed the JFK narrative, and the UAP Research Corps, those who managed the advanced technology narrative, were the same individuals. The information control architecture was designed to manage two secrets simultaneously: the illegitimacy of the leadership and the existence of anomalous technology. 1.4. The 1975 Church Committee, the Half-Truth. The 2026 declassification of the Church Committee's private supplemental files shows that the 1970s investigation into intelligence abuses was itself a controlled pressure release valve. The committee was allowed to see the domestic surveillance abuses, but was strictly barred from seeing the financial lattice core. The architecture of control was already too deep to be dismantled by a congressional hearing. By 1976, the Quiet War Manual, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, was being drafted. The transition from physical force to information control was complete. Part 2. The Infrastructure, the Quiet War, and the Unified Ledger. 2.1. The Silent Weapon, Thermodynamic Social Control, the 1979 Manual. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, SWFQW, is the most accurate functional requirements document for the 2026 global economy. It defines human society as a heat engine, a thermodynamic system where the flow of energy, capital, and labor must be regulated to maintain systemic stability. The weapon, described in the manual, isn't a kinetic bomb, it is an economic inductor. By controlling the timing, velocity, and resistance of money flow, the engineers can deliver shocks to the population, inflation, recession, supply chain collapse, to engineer a specific behavioral outcome. 2.2. Project Agora, the automation of the inductor. In March 2026, the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, moved Project Agora into its final live-fire testing phase. This project represents the physical manifestation of the economic inductor. The Unified Ledger. Project Agora integrates tokenized commercial bank deposits with wholesale CBDCs on a single ledger. Atomic Settlement. Transactions are no longer messages sent between banks. They are state changes on a central ledger. The Valve. Because the ledger is unified, the central bank has real-time visibility and veto power over every transaction. The inductor is now automated. The valve can be programmed to close if the social energy of the sender doesn't match the desired parameters of the system. 2.3. The Appia framework, the centralized valve. On March 11, 2026, the European Central Bank (ECB) launched the Appia framework. This is the regulatory and technical blueprint for the unified ledger in the EU. Appia ensures that all private blockchain activity, JP Morgan's Onyx, BlackRock's tokenized funds, must eventually settle through the central bank's Pontes bridge. This eliminates the gap of decentralized finance and forces all noise, unregulated capital, back into the clean signal of the central ledger. 2.4 Programmability, money as a remote control device. The 2026 declassified OECD reports on responsible digital finance confirm the final stage of the quiet war. Money as policy. Temporal liquidity, expiry. In March 2026, pilots, India, China, CBDC credits are issued with hard-coded expiration dates. If the current money isn't spent within 30 days, the smart contract triggers a burn. This prevents the slow human from accumulating savings, capacitance, keeping them in a constant state of kinetic stress, the need to consume. MCC locking. The central ledger now uses merchant category codes to dictate consumer choice. If a user's carbon score is too high, their money will physically fail to execute at a gas station or a butcher. The quiet war is no longer fought with propaganda, it is fought with incompatible syntax. If your behavior doesn't match the code, your money doesn't match the vendor. Section 2 of 5, compiled by Johnny Sovereign, Vernon Nova Consensus, Part 3. The perception layer, the dead internet, and the synthetic puppet. 3.1 The dead internet, 51% automation threshold. In March 2026, the global internet crossed the synthetic event horizon. For the first time, over 51% of all web traffic is confirmed to be automated bots. This isn't just spam, it is a strategic diversion. The quiet war requires the population to be distracted while the unified ledger is installed by flooding the zone with AI-generated slop content specifically designed to trigger high-magnitude emotional responses, rage, fear, lust. The engineers have ensured that the human cognitive window is 100% occupied by noise. 3.2 NLP and the reality TV actor. The 2026 declassified CIA supplemental files on behavioral signal processing detail the use of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, in high-level political figures. The report suggests that the modern presidential role has been transitioned from an executive decision-maker to a performative anchor. Figures like the Orange Man, Trump, were chosen not for their policy expertise, but for their mastery of the reality TV algorithm. They are trained in NLP to anchor the emotions of the public to a specific narrative, while the underlying security core, the 1963 birth group, continues to manage the thermodynamic valves of the state. The president is the user interface. If the public is arguing about the UI, the personality of the president, they are not looking at the OS, the unified ledger. 3.3 Synthetic consensus, the illusion of mandate. 90% of current online content is now AI generated. This allows the security core to simulate democratic consent. When a new restrictive policy is introduced, e.g. the 2026 smart grid mandate, the AI agents generate millions of supportive comments, articles, and community polls. The slow human link looks at their screen, sees a consensus, and assumes they are the outlier for disagreeing. This is digital gaslighting at scale. The quiet war doesn't need to ban dissent, it just makes the dissenter feel invisible. 3.4 The Digital Twin, Simulation Before Policy. The 2026 audit of NVIDIA's Earth 2 and Omniverse platforms reveals their actual geopolitical use. Population modeling. The security core now runs stress tests on digital twins of entire cities before deploying a policy in the real world. They simulate a 10% increase in gas prices or a 48-hour power outage to see exactly where the breaking point of the social circuit is. They are no longer predicting the future. They are assigning it out based on simulation data.